Okay. All right. I assume you guys can see the PowerPoint package. Everybody yet? Well, greetings, everybody. And how do you see the pic? Do you see it? Do you see it as the application, or do you see it as the full screen showing? Does it full screen? All right, so presumably this one. Okay. All right. Greetings, everybody. Certainly morning. Welcome. The last recording of this particular session. I hope many of y'all have been making good progress. I hope many of y'all are continuing to make strides in improving your grade. It has been, yeah. I'm going to be keeping people's video off because I find that distracting, by the way. So it's been a rough couple of days for myself. I know you guys are coming to the end of your turn. You're panicking over getting things done, being ready for your classes, etc. I just got back from my mom's funeral, so it is what it is. But I don't have a whole lot to go over tonight. I haven't gotten, but I think I only had like one question in any email or IM session so far this week. Don't believe I actually added it to this package because it wasn't really anything specific. But yep, today we're going to go over databases in Excel, defining criteria. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about the decount. That's probably an old option, but that is one of the things you'll be working on as far as the it was updated. So it's part of the lesson plan that's inside of IntelliPath is using decount. How multiple sheet workbooks can work. Just a reminder, this is the last week. Therefore, you're expected to get all the homework done by a week from today. And if, thanks, Eric. But at the same time, I know that people have been working in some older IntelliPaths. I did update it this morning for grades. Had a number of people improve their grades substantially as a result from that. I will go ahead and just keep accepting them at this point. I'm not going to put that as a specific end date on when I'm going to stop accepting them. So kind of the blue is unnecessary, is kind of misleading this particular picture, but this is how I standardize my presentations, which works really good for live person-to-person type classes. So I've been keeping it along with the online classes. At the same time, that is, you only have 1 week left, and if anyone needs an incomplete, that incomplete only will give you through till Thursday of the following week. So it gives you like an additional 4 days. And if you want to request that, I have to have that in writing email in some manner, and I have to have that before Tuesday or by Tuesday in order to submit it, in order to meet the deadline that I'm required to have to submit that request by. So just keep that in mind. Okay. I've been noticing a number of trends. Quite a bit of the average class is expert on many of these things and masters at this, but that average is based on the students who actually put in the effort, but as you can see, that number of students tends to drop off at the unit 4, unit 5. So that's why we are doing, half the class is doing really well and half the class is not doing that well. So if these two things get put in, I'm sure everybody can bring their grades up to this level. It is quite possible that everybody in this class can still pass this class if they put in the effort to do units 4 and 5 and get them up into an outstanding point, and then go backwards to fill in 2 and 3 accordingly. So put in the effort, get you the kind of grade you deserve in this class. I'm not being picky. You've noticed I've not taken too much of the tardiness penalty off on anybody. So I'd encourage you to keep on working. Just as I don't think I mentioned this before, but I did mention that I've been working on my doctorate as well. What I did not mention is my mom, who used to be the admissions counselor for the the United States Air Force Academy for over 20 years, getting cadets into school and functioning at that class. So I'm big on making sure people earn the grade that they get, but at the same time, encourage you to do the effort, and we'll award you as if you get the effort done, right? So inspirationally, everybody works to try to achieve a good grade. They want it for personal satisfaction. Some people try to get degrees. Whatever your motivation is, the more work you put in, the more you get out of it, right? If you skate through the idea of just getting by, well, there's people who pass with degrees who are C average students, but that's okay, because in the end, you ultimately get your degree. Those who put in more work get the A's and B's. That's a personal satisfaction thing, and it is what it is, and you earn those kinds of grades. But if you don't put in the effort, then ultimately you spend a lot of time, potentially waste a lot of money, especially with federally backed student loans, which are not bankruptable or forgiven, except for in the case of death. It is it's worthwhile for you to do that, because the government always wants their money. So it's as much as it costs for you to be in the school, it's worth the time for you to put in the effort and the commitment to make that happen. So when I was being a college student, my bachelor's and master's degree, I accumulated over 150,000, I think, in student loans at that point. But it's all been paid off since then. So I live a debt-free life nowadays. So and it's worthwhile. That took a lot of effort, took a lot of pain, a lot of sacrifice. But with your degree, pain, sacrifice gets you your end state, gets you better jobs, gets you opportunities, allows you to improve your life. And with that, over time, you build up, and you get to enjoy the life you want, and have the opportunities you need to get personal satisfaction. So it's worthwhile putting in the effort now, so that later you can reap the benefits of that work at a later date. So just take that as an inspirational thought. Unit 5 summary board. This is going to be for you to discuss what you believe you've learned the most on about during your time in this class, right? So I want to see what you think you thought was most useful to you, what you thought you learned the most on, and I'll still answer questions too. I mean, if you think you can pick up more pieces, it's worthwhile to make the best use of your time with the people you have to help you along the way. So take the time to talk to to various professors in your various classes. Take the time to learn, ask questions, because ultimately we're here for education. We're here to learn. We're here to expand our minds to understand what is available from a knowledge base that collectively we as society has grown and improved upon, right? So so definitely ask questions, definitely be inquisitive, the greatest minds are those who don't take absolutes from others, but research and determine what is the answer they believe that they feel makes the most sense and that they understand. Is by doing research, right? Doing and digging into and understanding. That's how we got to where we are. That's how we continue to improve as a society. So yeah. So put in effort, learn. Those introduce opportunities and it improves your own life, and you really get out of it. And in that context, right? So, anyways, the last discussion board is about how or what's the most important things you actually learned over the course of this class, and to give me a perspective on what you think is most important. So, all right. So I showed you how to drag and drop CSV files or tabs from one spreadsheet to another spreadsheet, so you can basically go between workbooks with files. If you needed to do advanced filtering, this is the process to set up the advanced filtering features. So one of the questions in Telepath was, can I bring Excel data into Excel from a text file? Yes, you can, provided that each of them is a comma separated file or some other type of character. I can demonstrate that if needed. Basically, the idea is you can, if you know what you're doing, you can easily convert text either directly into Excel as a table, or you can take text, drop it into a Word document, turn that Word document into a quick table within Word, and then copy and paste it directly into Excel. All you have to really have is a way to break up that data in some manner. It could be commas, it could be pipe characters, it can be parentheticals. Doesn't matter what you use, but there's ways to convert data to make it useful, so you can incorporate it into Excel for automated formula usage. So as you've seen in the past things I've done, I've showed you some fancy usages of Excel for some very basic functions that a lot of people don't think of, but it is very capable of doing. So the advanced filtering button lets you to do groups or sections of groups and keep that within capability, so that you can do certain types of sorts. So the decount function, there's a link in YouTube that gets you to the decount function for a full demonstration of it. But things you need to know is it cares about data ranges and how you can collapse those. It cares about criteria ranges and how the information gets shown. So I may go back and show that here in a second. As I mentioned before, I gave you all the links to Muse up on as an announcement, but these are the ones that are relevant to chapters 5. So these 3 you can look up, dig through, look at the video of how to do graphs, how to do data manipulation, advanced data management. Advanced data management has to do with advanced filtering and other things, an organization of data. I want you to encourage you to okay, that was weird. All right, I want to encourage you to provide honest feedback. I know I've made some mistakes in this class, and at the same time, I've also tried to show you guys and be a little bit more energetic at times about the uses of Excel. It's not the most exciting topic in the world, but it's such a fundamental component of how businesses run, or engineering or data science type activities are handled, that it's hard to avoid spreadsheets and other data manipulation tools like Excel in your career, right? If you want to run a business, if you want to do some basic analysis, you want to do problem solving, data analysis, Excel is one of the best tools for that. It's also not necessarily the flashiest tool at that, but getting the job done is a workhorse. So, but at the same time, I don't think I'm the most steady teacher. So definitely provide honest feedback on my opinion, where I'm good, where I'm bad. The only way to learn is through mistakes or through errors. So keep that in mind, right? Everybody telling you you're perfect, you don't learn anything from that. You learn from where you struggle. That's where you gain knowledge and learning is struggling through and solving or working through issues. So definitely, if you can give me some things like what can I do better, that would be useful. So mute another person. Okay. See if this, how well this goes back. Try to bring up the decount video if I can. Okay. Sorry for the thing. I forgot to set this up at a time. Okay. Share. Share. Go over to Edge. Share that. I assume at this point you guys can see a web page from YouTube. Two-minute video. I'm just going to let this run for a minute. So the idea of this is you can use it to bring in inventories, right? You could preset formulas. So you could say, if you wanted to, as a business, say, look for the cheapest price of any type of component, or if you're like a restaurant and you needed you buy supplies from like 4 different vendors, well, maybe you want to get a huge stock of potatoes from vendor Y, and typically get it from Y, but it turns out that X today is running a sale, so you can get like the same amount of potatoes at half price. Well, if you auto ingest their inventory prices into an Excel spreadsheet like this, you can have it tell you not only who has what product at the time, but you can then use the price to figure out, all right, well, I can sort it by and filter it out by the type, sort it by the type, and you can figure out, oh, maybe I should be ordering from this person today because they're running a sale on it, or they, for whatever reason, have an overflow that they got to drop off from an inventory perspective, so they're dropping it for cheaper. You can figure out things like that by ingesting their data and using the decount to help you find that kind of information. So in this case, like you said, 2 people with USB, well, that tells you have 2 different vendors that can provide that one product that you might need to be looking at for comparative reasons. So that's where decount comes in useful. Looks up number of lines that have values against a particular range or column or data set. So I know today's gonna be a pretty short thing, shorter than probably the other classes. Turn off the stop share. Okay. Oh, tells if I turn back my video on. Okay, so with that, I mean, I'm open the floor to anybody who wants to have anything to say, ask questions, whatnot. Other than that, and you saw everything that I had set up for today's piece. So other than that, I encourage you to keep working. I encourage you to do well. Make sure you just keep us striving to improve your life. Right? We all come to school to improve our lives, to improve our to improve our situation. I've had many students who lived out of their car just because they couldn't afford rent, but were working to try to make their lives better, so they would find ways to survive week in, week out. And ultimately, this kind of thing, once you get a degree, once you get close to a degree, you can start finding opportunities. You can find ways to improve your life. You can find jobs that help you make your lives better. And that's ultimately why we all come to school, is to make ourselves to personally personally make ourselves and our lives better for the long term, and to achieve things that that people in your family or before you may have never achieved before, right? Get ourselves out of situations and break this mentality. Like, some people live in where they believe they're a victim of where they grew up. Well, in order to break that, you have to achieve by personal growth, by growing yourself, by education, and then breaking the mold and evolving beyond where you came from, right? So that's all about personal investment, personal growth, those kinds of activities that are necessary for uh, one, to make a better life for themselves, right? You have to work to achieve, and what you achieve, you improve yourself, and potentially, like I said, I live debt free, so potentially, my teaching does two things for me. It allows me to get a free doctoral degree, and it'll allow my daughter to go to CTU as well for free. So ultimately, my time into doing teaching to help you guys improves our lives in the fact that she'll be much better off in the future and have all the opportunities to her early on in life that lets her grow into a beautiful woman. So, and with a great career. So, it's all about achievement. It's about pushing forward and making yourselves better and enriching yourselves with um, where you're going with that, right? So you gotta work for those types of things. So, um, anyways, I hope you found this class great. I hope you picked up a lot to learn. Hope you keep on striving, and I may or may not see you all in the future, but let's just put it this way. I hope this best success for everybody going forward. So thanks for attending this class, and if you wish to say anything, this is the time. If not, then thanks, and I will see you another day.
Thank you
Thank
too,
you.
Prof. Great job, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My condolences are with you. God bless you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. You taught me a lot.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, and I'm going to end the class now. Thanks.